Yeah, testing 1 2 1 2. This is a little something for you, you little biatch.
Watch my 9mm go bang. Watch my 9mm.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gran Turismo 4. If you are unfamiliar with the series, Gran Turismo, releasing its first game in 1997, would become pivotal in the racing game scene. After doing some digging and reading around, it seems to be that Gran Turismo 2 or Gran Turismo 3 were the common places for most people's addictions to start. More on that later. Personally, I started on Gran Turismo 3, but I have the majority of my time spent in Gran Turismo overall in this video's namesake, Gran Turismo 4. Releasing in 2005, most players consider Gran Turismo 4 the peak of the series. I am one of those players, and this game would lead to a lifelong addiction to racing games. Hence the purpose of this channel. So join me on a nostalgia-filled, fever dream-esque, poor driving talent version of a Gran Turismo 4 playthrough. But before that, I would like to say, I am running this through PlayStation emulation on my PC, through the emulator PCSX2, so you are going to notice some graphical bugginess or funky things. If you are familiar with the series, it'll be pretty obvious. Please ignore it. This is an old game that was never designed to run on PC, yet I'm shoehorning it to work. I've done my best. There will be frame drops. Please bear with it. And without further ado, let's start a brand new profile and hop right into simulation mode. As any Gran Turismo veteran knows, first thing first is a license test. Now, I am not going to sit here and grind to get every single license test gold. I am not a psychopath. With that being said, I will try to do my best and get what we get. And I'm probably only going to do one test per video, so bear with me. Plus, free car. Starting with B license, test 1, a simple acceleration and deceleration test. Take off and go as fast as possible. Before slamming on the binders and coming to a stop in the... Well, let's try that again, shall we? Accelerate. And stop. In the zone this time! Much better. Well, with that beautiful display of my own ineptitudes out of the way, on to test number 2. Yet another acceleration and deceleration test. This time, however, things go much better. Test number 3, our first test which involves doing something more complicated than a straight line, also goes significantly better than the first, managing yet another silver trophy first attempt. Now we're warmed up. So warmed up, in fact, that I managed to get at least bronze first try on every test with the exception of B4, 5, 10, 11, 13, and 15, all being silver first attempt. And after an hour of game time and pulling my hair out because I can't figure out how to drive, even though I've been playing this game for something like almost 20 years at this point, we get our first license and our first prize car. A Volkswagen Lupo. Now, we have a choice to make. Do I take the $10,000 that we are given at the beginning of the game to buy a car and dump it in our dumpy little Lupo, or sell the Lupo and buy something much better? A choice I pondered for all of exactly 30 seconds before immediately selling the Lupo and going shopping for a new-to-me used car. At the used car dealership, I spent some time kicking tires, and I finally got my choices slimmed down to two. A 95 Civic SIR in this really cool purple, blue, something like that, color that I have never seen before, or a red Integra. In the end, I went with the 95 EG hatch, just because cool color. Now with our first car that is not a total pile of junk, well, subjectively, and keys in hand, we move on to GT Auto for an oil change and a sweet set of used NSX rims. Before heading over to Spoon for a chip, exhaust, as well as a flywheel for good measure. Now, finally, time for our first real race in our first car, the Sunday Cup. Our first race on Autumn Ring Mini goes way better than anticipated. After the first corner, it was obvious that this was going to be an easy win, with a massive dive up to fourth on the inside. Before making quick work of the 106 and the Punto. Finally, with clear road ahead of us, we spear off into the distance, finishing almost a full 6 seconds faster than the Punto. Race 2 at Driving Park, and I decide to turn off my driving aids because I forgot to do it the first time, because I have the mental capacity of a goldfish. However, this makes me even faster, landing a easy, clean win way ahead of the pack. Pretty boring racing here, so you're not going to get to see a ton of it. But anytime I get to do something funny or stupid, mostly stupid, you'll see it. Anyways, race 3, high speed ring. And much like the first two races, I jumped to P1 within the first corner before yet again running away with another easy victory and a massive lead. Race 4, special stage, Route 5, and yet again making quick work of the competition, moving to first before the second lap, and yet again walking away with a clean win. Now at this point, the little purple, blue Civic has been an absolute weapon on the track, and I was feeling very, very confident going into race 5 when I ran into this, the 2003 MG TF160, a car I've never seen before at the Sunday Cup. As usual, first corner I managed to get around 5th place, the Punto, before making a massive dive on the inside a few corners later with some questionable lines? Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Upon reaching the straightaway on lap 2, I realized that MG is pulling on me pretty good, and oh boy, does this turn into a good but brief battle. At the beginning of the second lap, I make the most of the straightaway before overshooting turn 1 like a dolt. Yet I somehow managed to get a better run out of that corner onto the back straightaway. Coming into T3, I thought I could pass on the outside, before finally getting the job done a few corners later, passing on the outside and running away for an easy win. Not a super hard battle, but still entertaining. And finally, with that, the 5th victory and our second prize car, a '79 Autobianchi A112. Well, now that that's out of our hair, on to our next challenge, the front wheel drive challenge. But first, upgrades. Another quick trip to Spoon for a racing exhaust, sports suspension, weight reduction, and a twin plate clutch because, why not? Race 1 of the front wheel drive challenge is 2 laps at Midfield Raceway. This race was yet again an uneventful clean sweep, proving that the little Civic was an absolute menace. However, the Mini Cooper in second place managed to keep up with me. Not a threat, but it was at least notable. Race 2 is at Suzuka East, and besides the AI being as smooth-brained as I am at the end of lap 1, leading to a drag race down the straightaway before I inevitably outbrake him coming into T1, and running away with a clean victory yet again. Now, race 3, Hong Kong, a technical street track, and to be honest, one of my least favorite tracks from my childhood. However, the older I get, the more I start to appreciate the fantasy street tracks and how truly remarkable and enjoyable they can be. First corner, I get into a bit of a scuffle before making a move in the next couple of corners. And getting a bit of Fiat Turbo Coupe yellow on my car, which leads me to nearly overshooting the next corner. But luckily I managed to keep the Civic on the road and getting the pass done on the Renault. Now, lap 2. Time to reel in that coupe. We are fairly even for the first few corners, before I immediately pull a 0 IQ move, slamming head on into a wall. This is not good. We need to drive fairly well here. He's not that much faster than me, but I'm an idiot and can still throw this win away. Next corner, we don't gain that much ground, but in the hairpin, we managed to make a relatively decent dive, and managing a better run out of the corner, we end up in a drag race down the back straightaway yet again. Before clipping the rumble strip on the outside and nearly binning it. But I managed to keep it together and pass before taking it home for an easy win. That was fun. Now, race 4, Grand Valley East. And yet, you guessed it, another easy win. Kind of a letdown after race 3, but hey, what can you do? And finally, race 5, Twin Motegi. And other than some less than optimal driving, we secure yet another easy victory. With that event down, we get our third prize car. A 2001 Mazda 6. Another front-wheel drive that I don't need. With that moderate letdown, we come to the end of episode 1. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This kind of content takes time to write, shoot, edit, and upload, so these kinds of videos will be less oftenly uploaded than the rest of the content on the channel, such as the MX Bikes video. If you like what you see here and you'd be interested in catching episode 2, make sure you click that like and subscribe button, and maybe even the bell to help you get notified of when the episode 2 actually releases. Next episode I plan on doing a little bit more license tests, buying a couple cars, and doing the FR and 4-wheel drive challenges. So yeah guys, Thank you so much for watching, again, if you've made it this far. I do have more content planned, obviously this Gran Turismo series, as well as the MX Bike series. The second episode, 20 hours in, should be coming very shortly, as I am sneaking up on 20 hours. Bear with me, I'm still learning new equipment, learning new software, and I work a full-time job. I don't get to do this all day, every day. It's just kind of a passion project that I want to share with you guys. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.